Hello, hello. It is your Astro Coach Sarah here for Wellness Astrology, this time for the moon in Capricorn. Okay. So guys, when I go on a trip, whether it's like on vacation, dog sit, house sit, I kind of disconnect from like everything that's going on. Um, I mean, I might scroll my social media, but like I don't invest a lot and this was with friends. So I was like busy the whole time. So I don't really know what the hell's going on in the world. But I did hear that there was something to do with lowering the cost of pharmaceuticals and thought of my video about the Ceres conjunct Saturn and Hygieia conjunct Uranus in a sextile. Um, and so, and that's interesting because as we head into this weekend, this is the moon in Capricorn, which is May 15th through the 17th, mostly the 16th and 17th, but I'll post it midday on the 15th. As we head into this weekend, Ceres series or Ceres, however you want to say it, is going to move into Aries in conjunct Neptune. And Hygieia is going to pass Uranus, but we have the Sun conjunct Uranus and Mercury square Mars, as well as Mars and Venus in a trine. So with the moon in Capricorn. So um I just think that's interesting. Let me pull up the chart so you guys can be looking at the chart while I feel through because I have a few thoughts. I have a few feelings about this energy. Definitely one of which is earthquakes, something like that. This is a lot of earth and it's the sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus, earth sign. So with the moon in an earth sign, um, I definitely feel something about that. But let me pull up the chart so we can all take a look at it. Okay, so I got this set for Saturday night. This is May 17th, at about 7, what is this? 7:42 p.m. Central Time. This is when the moon is at 27, Sun Uranus at 27, and Mercury is at 12, 13, square Mars at 12. 13 Leo. Okay. So Mars is at 13, Mercury's at 13 Taurus, Venus is at 12 Aries. And so because Uranus and Saturn are in a sextile, there's a trine between the moon and the Saturn Uranus or the Sun Uranus conjunction. Um Jupiter is squaring the nodes, and there's also a trine between the South Node, a 25 Virgo, and the Sun Uranus conjunction. Okay, let's just go through a few things here. So we know that the Virgo Pisces axis is the health and health axis. It also has to do with institutions, hospitals, um, body, like Virgo is the digestive system, gut, brut, gut, brain relationship. Pisces is medications, particularly liquid ones. And then we have the moon in Capricorn. Well, we know Capricorn ruled by Saturn is traditions, systems, structures, um, that kind of thing. Uh, Trine the Sun Uranus. I mean, is that a grand trine? That is a grand trine. It doesn't show it as a grand trine on my what you call it. Hold on, let me see something though. Sorry, you're gonna see me set some settings. Um, yeah, here we go. Let's get the aspects for the north and the south node. Now we have a grand trine. There we go. Okay, so we do have a grand trine between the moon and the South Node in Virgo at 25, and the Sun Uranus conjunction at 27, Taurus. So it's a grand Earth trine. Um, and we have Pluto in Aquarius for the people. Um, Moon's in Capricorn at its detriment. Like, I wouldn't really be the least bit surprised if there is something to do with a system or structure that's been in place for a long time, because Capricorn is like the mountain lion, right? Or the mountain goat. Or is it the sea goat? Depends on who you ask. And Ceres is kind of Virgo-esque. Ceres can be anything from maternal instinct, nurturing, things like that. Has just entered Aries. Saturn's about to enter Aries in like less than 10 days here. We definitely are going to see something related to Earth, something tangible, something noticeable, could have to do with something resources related, because Taurus is resources, right? So money, money systems, food, nourishment, nutrition, nutritional supplements. South Node Virgo, we might learn something. Mercury square Mars, something's going to get said, like an oopsie, they weren't supposed to find out about that. Um, uh, but also like, I mean, we got this Neptune in Aries, like something indicative of like an illusion of war, right? Or something we need to fight for. Um, uh, Something like that. Jupiter squaring the nodes, which could amplify, like something to do with health, healthcare, hospitals, institutions, prisons, mental health. Maybe it's something to do with um, uh, uh, what are they called? SSRIs, antidepressants, maybe something to do with antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds. Um, finding out the truth about those. The truth's out there. You just got to look for it. Kelly Brogan was on Joe Rogan and debunked everything to do with antidepressants years ago. It's how I got like dealt with mine, was learning about the fact that antidepressants don't work. Um, Something that has us perhaps turning towards an earthly resource to manage mental issues, mental instabilities like depression, anxiety, etc. Um, some structure that's been in place for a long, which would be the pharmaceutical industry, right? It started in like the what, early 20th century. We got the pharmaceutical industry and all of these petroleum-based medications that are actually doing more harm than good to our bodies. We kind of have lost the efficacy of most of our nutrient dense produce. Like oranges don't have the amount of vitamin C that they once had, and other plants don't have the nutrient densities because of chemtrails and pesticides and all that bullshit. So, I mean, there could be some stuff come out about that, because a lot of people don't want to believe but it's true. But a lot of that started in the early 20th century. Uh, with these repeat transits, we could be getting some sort of revelation. Mercury square Mars in Leo, with with Mars trining, or I guess Venus trining Mars. Um, there could be just something like people just choosing to go a different way, right, with their own health and well-being, which is the whole point of the South Node in Virgo, right? Um, so anyway, I would expect this to be a very spicy weekend, a very disruptive weekend. Mercury involved means information. Something's going to be stated about our resources, our supply chains, money systems. Moon in Capricorn is systems. Um, so there's a lot of things that could play out here. I would say though, in your personal life, Really feel your body. I cannot say this enough right now. You really like story time. So I was staying at a friend's house for the last week and cute little house. But I live a very minimalist life. I don't have a lot of knickknacks. I don't have a lot of decorations. I don't even have that much furniture. And so uh, I actually don't function well in a cluttered environment, and that's why I don't do it. But this house that I stayed at was, there's three adults, there was three dogs, up to five dogs at one point because we had two puppies, and all of their stuff, right, and all of my stuff, and I felt a little bit claustrophobic. Um, in my house, I can practice yoga wherever I want. I can move about and all of those things. And so I noticed while I was there that I was like super constipated. Now, I was constipated before I left, but thought it was going to resolve itself. It did not. And then I continued to be constipated. I didn't feel bloated. I was just constipated. Um, and it suddenly occurred to me that I felt a little constricted. Therefore, like my body responded accordingly. People notice that they are not resting well, but yet they're upset about a lot of different things happening in their life. And people don't put this together that what's happening for you mentally, emotionally is manifesting for you physically. Right. So if you have like indigestion, it's kind of like, what are you unwilling to mentally digest, right? A lot of people, when they got into the truther community, or conspiracy theory community, whatever you would like to call it, I call it truther community. Um, they experienced indigestion, like the inability to digest the information, cognitive dissonance, right? It's the same kind of thing. You don't want to believe something, so your body physically cannot digest what your brain just took in, right? Like that's a total definition of a mind fuck, right? Or a mind bend. And so, but this is the thing with these nodes in Virgo Pisces is this idea that, we really need to tune into our physical body and the state of our physical body to really understand what we may be facing or dealing with mentally and emotionally. Because a lot of our mental and emotional, number one, we push it to the side because we've got the go, 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 busy, busy, busy way of being. And number two, we don't think it matters whether we deal with it or mentally, emotionally or not. We just want to resolve the physical symptoms. So laxatives, suppositories, whatever you do, um, you know, all of those things to resolve the issue, right? Rather than actually mentally processing what am I feeling that has me so uncomfortable, right? And it's the same thing with anything else. How come I can't sleep? Why can't my mind calm down? And perhaps it's an opportunity for journaling and, um, you know, speaking what you need to speak, kind of thing that allows your mind to then calm down. I will say with the Saturn at 29, Pisces, that is a things must go. As in not only just things dissipating or dissolving, but it's also a death and dying degree. And I know of at least um, two people. I'm sure there has been more. I'm not a fool, but uh, a friend of mine, her friend passed away, and a friend of theirs passed away unexpectedly. So some of these could be, someone's been dealing with a chronic illness, and then some are just unexpected passings. And so I would like to say we're done with that, but we're not because Saturn and Neptune will both come back to 29 degrees Pisces before fall. So there's that. But anyway, so it could be a rickety, rumbly weekend. Could be I don't know if there'll be storm activity. Could be. I don't know. I'm in the Midwest where it gets humid in the day and then it storms by the end of the night. So, um, but definitely something like earthquakey or whatever. I know a lot of you are not on TikTok, but if you are and you go check out the Yellowstone National Park or the Joshua Tree National Park TikTok accounts, they're quite disturbed, like they're quite hilarious right now. Anyway, but this is Saturday evening, so this is what we're building to Friday into Saturday. It'll start to kind of come apart but not really by Sunday because the moon's going to move into Aquarius, which is where Uranus rules. So this may persist through the Aquarius moon. Um, and so we'll talk about it again in the next video, of course, but it's something to just be aware of that, like this is building through the moon in Capricorn, but it may persist through the moon in Aquarius, since Aquarius is the ruler of Uranus. So this is also sky. I mean, Uranus rules skies. Um, Uranus is the god of the skies. And so, there's that kind of thing that could be a factor in the equation that could bring on the storms and whatnot. So anyway, that's the chart for the weekend. It's kind of intense. It's kind of intense, but I have good news. This is our last Sun Uranus conjunction in Taurus. I don't know if that's good or not, but we'll take it, right? Um, But keep in mind, it's the last Saturn Sun Uranus conjunction in Taurus. That means that the following, 8 years is going to be a Sun Uranus conjunction in Gemini. I don't know if that's comforting or not. But what I will say though is Uranus is not at his best in Taurus, right? He's at fall there. So it's not his best. And so what I do feel with Uranus moving into Gemini here coming up in July, like, we will get a little bit more active energy with Uranus and Gemini. I've been talking about that for a long time. So anyway, let's get into the tarot and see what's going on for this moon in Capricorn with the Sun Uranus conjunction in Taurus. Um, do you think we're going to start to get more information as time goes on? And remember, we're days away from Saturn in Aries, and that is going to change the flavor of the energy. That's going to heat things up. That's going to put another planet in a fire sign. And so, yeah. Our only calm constellation for the next year and a half is Jupiter in Cancer because Jupiter's exalted there. That's his happy place. But it also means people may not be the least bit motivated to do anything at a time when being motivated and disciplined to do things is like crucial. Jupiter's moving into Cancer, where people are going to be like, la, 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 la. So see how that plays out. I am going to be doing the next 3 years sun and rising signs. It's probably going to be, let's see, this is coming up on Friday. That's probably when I'm going to film it. I'm hoping to film it on Friday. I have a couple clients coming up that I need to work on their stuff. And then I will film the next 3 years sun and rising. I may also have a little special opportunity coming up, kind of feeling into that. I may have a special opportunity coming up. Um, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, let's see what this tarot has to say about the situation. Um, Knight of Latinum in reverse. Eek. Knight of Latinum in reverse. I mean, I always think of the Ferengi as like swift swindlers. So this being the knight, like something could be shifty shady. So just kind of watch your P's and Q's, watch the hidden information. What the fuck was the name of that episode of South Park where it was making fun of all of the terms of service, terms and conditions that we all sign when we sign up for, Apple, iTunes, all of these things that we sign. And he ends up signing himself up for becoming part of the human centipede, which I've never seen that movie. I'm never going to watch that movie. The thought of that movie makes my stomach turn. But anyway, really crude example to say that this is like you're signing away something and you're like, what the fuck did I sign up for? And some people may be thinking that, like, by living this life right now is like, what the fuck did I sign up for? Um, but I think this is just kind of like be mindful. Um, it's all going to be okay. We all signed up for this, right? I know we don't want to remind ourselves of that sometimes, but um, justice in reverse. Something's unjust, something's out of balance, something, Platinum is Pentacles, which is earth, resources, material possessions. Justice is balance. Something's out of balance with the resources, which obviously, right? We've got this whole terraform going on, and we've got all kinds of things going on. But I mean, the other thing too is like, um, what are you doing for yourself to be resourceful, to be open, and to be, because here's the thing, what's going to go on out there is going to go on out there. We really don't have any control over it, right? Well, case in point, okay? Housing is a problem, particularly in my state, in Illinois, because we have a shithead for a governor. I mean, Illinois has never been able to elect a good governor in my entire lifetime. That's just truth. We have shitty governors. Um, but I could say, well, it's the governor's fault, it's the mayor, it's the city's fault, it's the this fault, whatever, whatever. Or I could just bust my ass and have a higher income bracket, you know, to be able to get better housing options, right? That's on me. That's what I'm saying. Is that yes, are eggs expensive? Are groceries expensive? Is this expensive? First of all, we don't have $4 gas prices. Maybe you do in California. I don't know. But where I'm at, we don't have $4 gas prices. Um, but you see what I'm saying? Like you could sit and complain about the things that are unavailable for you, or you could do what you need to do to budget better, to create more income for yourself, to like make shit happen for yourself. Because if it feels like it's out of balance, it's on you to balance it. Yes, they should make changes. I get it. The system's broken. I totally get it. Y'all don't know how much I get it. I think the system's fucking trash because it does not work for people. It's actually meant to keep people small and controlled. That's what they want. But we as individuals get to rise above it. And, I ranted on this on that Scorpio full moon video. Go back and watch it. That was a fucking great, great rant. So go back and watch that video if you haven't already. It's a couple videos ago. My whole thing here is that in that video, I talked about how we treated people. But in this video, I'm going to talk about how we manage resources. Unless you are absolutely incapable of working, which there are people who are legit, go work, go hustle within reason, because take care of yourself, right? So let's see what's up with the woodland wardens for this. But I mean, you know, it suck the way this system is right now? Yeah, and it's gonna suck as it continues to crumble. It's really gonna suck. And I think that, depending on what state you're in, it sucks twice as bad. I don't know. I've never been happy with how Illinois has been managed, but that's because I grew up in the rural part of Illinois, and Illinois is managed by metropolitan politicians. So it makes zero sense to most of the state of Illinois. So how Illinois has been managed. Anyway, so maybe your state's like that too. Maybe your state is managed by the big city, but you live in the middle of nowhere, so half of the shit that's happening doesn't apply to you. That's annoying. I get it. But it's up to us to make choices to empower ourselves. And that is how we defeat the system. No, that's the elk, not the elm. The elk and ash. And this is Strength. Yeah, you got to have the strength. I'm telling you, with this Aries energy we're about to have with Saturn and Aries, Neptune, Ceres is going to be in Aries. We've got Chiron there. I haven't really studied into the whole Eris situation, but Eris is in Aries. Um, and Uranus moving into Gemini, you're gonna need all the stamina and all the strength and all of the endurance that you can get. And whatever that looks like for you, get up, move your body, move the energy, move the shit that's pissing you off so that it can be out of your system. Um, all of those things. Meditate, tune into your physical being so that you can find the strength and find the stability or the stamina to do what you need to do to thrive. I have no doubt we can all thrive through this. Believe me, I've thrived through some of the craziest, weirdest, whatever circumstances that I didn't think I'd thrive through, and I thrived through them. So find your strength. Find your strength. I have no doubt that you can do it. All right. Be safe this weekend. Be careful, be cautious, be conscientious. All of those things. If the red light is turning yellow, please stop. Don't try to blow through a yellow light. All of those sorts of things. So anywho, I hope this was helpful and I hope you have a great weekend and I'll talk to you for the next video. Take care.